Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Surely, anyone who is battling in the PvP arena of Seven Knights Rebirth can feel that the meta has undergone significant changes. Whether it is from recent updates, character stat adjustments, or simply the rise of new strategies within the community, all of these factors have made the previous power rankings no longer completely accurate and in need of reevaluation. That is why, in today's in-depth video, I took the time to research and build the most updated and balanced Legendary plus PvP tier list. This is not just a simple list, but a comprehensive analysis to help you clearly understand the real strength of each character across all game modes. My goal is to provide an objective view of the placements, explaining why certain characters like Jave and Karma have made remarkable progress, while others like Kyriel or Orly have dropped to lower tiers due to their lack of flexibility in the current team compositions. We will begin with the characters at the bottom tiers, D and C, to see whether there are any surprising picks worth saving before moving on to explore the metagods in tiers S and S+. And now, let's begin our evaluation journey by looking at the lowest positions on the tier list. In tier D, we have only one name, and that is Biscuit. Unfortunately, despite having potential, Biscuit still has not found a place in the intense PvP environment up to now. She is completely overshadowed by other choices that are much stronger and more flexible at every level of play. Moving on to Tier C, this is the group of characters we can call situational or specialized. They are not entirely useless, but their effectiveness is heavily limited by the meta and team requirements. Let's analyze two familiar names. First is Rachel. She remains a stable character, especially when used in broader content, thanks to her ability to apply physical damage reduction on opponents. However, in 5v5 arena, which demands high speed and strong breakthrough potential, Rachel does not bring enough value compared to dedicating a slot to characters in Tier A or S. She sits in Tier C because of her absence in core meta teams, forcing players to seek better options. Similarly is Spike. He has wide area crowd control and acceptable damage. Players can still use Spike in Guild Wars to build sub-teams. However, Spike's main issue is that he is overshadowed by many other damage dealers who offer better utility or more reliable finishing potential. Until Spike receives a truly strong buff, he will continue to remain in Tier C. Next is Chris. His biggest problem lies in the Death Team formation, where he plays a core role. Although this team can surprise opponents in Guild Wars attack battles, it is extremely inconsistent and easy to counter in the arena, where fights happen very quickly and resurrection gear is often present. Therefore, despite his specialized role, Chris is placed in Tier C due to his lack of flexibility and high risk in most content. Next is Ace. Ace is a character that many players may use as a complement in sub-teams for Guild Wars. However, like Spike and Rachel, Ace lacks a breakthrough damage or utility mechanism to truly make an impact in the meta. He is simply an okay choice, but never the best or necessary one for main PvP teams. We must wait for a significant buff for Ace to rise and make an impact. The last character in this Tier C group is Klahan. Klahan is a prime example showing that pure damage is not enough to secure victory in PvP. He lacks important utilities such as wide area crowd control, buff removal, or a unique defensive mechanism. In a meta where S+ characters deal massive damage while also having high survivability, Klahan's focus solely on damage makes him inefficient and easily taken out by stronger opponents. After analyzing the specialized and less effective characters in Tier C, let's move on to Tier B, niche utility. These are characters with stable skill sets and practical value in specific team compositions or certain types of content. In this group, we have Eileen, Dellens, Aquila, Kyriel, and Orly. Let's start with Eileen and Dellens. Both are excellent physical damage support characters, with Eileen providing damage buffs and Dellens offering physical attack buffs, along with a skill reset at T2. They are great choices in Guild Wars or Total War, where maximizing physical damage is crucial. However, in 5v5 arena, the competition for a spot in physical teams is extremely fierce due to the dominance of Kyle and Kagura. These two characters often get pushed out because they do not offer strong enough crowd control or breakthrough defensive utility compared to higher tier heroes. Next is Aquila. Aquila has an interesting role, often used in guild wars to counter certain annoying team compositions, and she can even be tested as a counterpick against strong heroes like Platin or Trude in specific situations. However, her role is still far too specialized. When not placed in the correct counter team, Aquila does not deliver stable performance and is usually replaced by more versatile heroes in the arena. The last two characters in Tier B are Kyriel and Orly, both notable adjustments from the previous tier list. Kyriel, once used in Magic teams to counter Trude, and Orly, with her revival and light control abilities, are still strong in Total War and Guild Wars. However, the reason they are moved down to Tier B is the intense competition for positions in the arena. Magic teams have been optimized with Tier S and S plus heroes like Mercure and Elysia, making it difficult for Kyriel to find her place. Similarly, Orly has good utility but is overshadowed by core support heroes like Elysia and Vanessa in her flexible role in terms of overall performance and survivability. And now we have arrived at Tier A, Flex and Strong. This is a very interesting tier where we see characters that are extremely powerful, capable of forming the backbone of your team, and most importantly, include some of the most notable rank adjustments in this tier list. Let's look at the four familiar names first: Teo, Yonhee, Rin, and Sylvesta. These four characters are consistently strong and reliable choices, but they are often outclassed by Tier S and S plus heroes in terms of speed or defensive coverage. For example, Teo is currently a fantastic physical sub DPS offering strong damage. Yunhee and Rin remain essential pillars in offensive teams in Guild Wars and Total War thanks to their flexibility and Rin's revival ability. Sylvesta is also a tremendously strong hero at T6. However, they all stay in Tier A because their performance in 5v5 Arena is often overshadowed by the overwhelming protection and overall power of heroes in Tier S. The biggest highlights of Tier A come from the promotions of two characters, Jave and Karma. First is Jave, who has been upgraded significantly from Tier B to Tier A. Through actual combat experience, Jave has proven to be a much more valuable physical sub-DPS than initially judged. His reliable area damage and utility make him a flexible choice to fill the second or third team in Total War, or a dependable DPS in Guild Wars teams that require a balance between damage output and survivability. The most controversial character is likely Karma. While we all know Karma can reach Tier S plus if he has extremely high breakthrough, T12, for the purpose of serving the majority of players, we place him in Tier A. At breakthrough levels T4 to T8, Karma remains one of the strongest single-target damage dealers, especially in tank comps. Placing Karma in Tier A acknowledges his high DPS value and his effective synergy in team strategies, not just his performance in the hands of top-level players. Stepping into Tier S, core meta, we are talking about the characters who form the foundation of today's top PvP strategies. Although they do not reach the absolute dominance of the S plus group, they are indispensable pieces that determine the success or failure of any meta team. In this group, we have Rudy, Mercure, Elysia, and Colt. Let's begin with Rudy. He is the core of every defensive team and plays an irreplaceable role. His ability to provide shields, cleanse negative buffs, and especially grant crowd control immunity is invaluable in prolonged battles. However, the reason we place Rudy in Tier S instead of S plus lies in a crucial detail. To perform at his peak in a high damage meta, Rudy truly needs to reach T6 to unlock his full crowd control immunity. Without T6, he becomes significantly more vulnerable to enemy exploitation, making him a conditional powerhouse rather than an inherently unstoppable one. Next is Mercure. This is the activator, or more precisely, the reason the Magic team exists. With the Magic Reflux mechanic, Mercure allows Magic teams to counter tanky defenders that physical teams struggle against. Mercure is not just a strong unit, he is a match-defining presence, making him the irreplaceable pillar of Magic team compositions. The last two names in Tier S are Elysia and Colt. Elysia is extremely powerful thanks to her buff removal and a passive that allows her team to worry less about speed when equipped correctly. She can shift the tempo of a fight from the very beginning. However, her effectiveness in Guild Wars can be limited by heroes with strong reset skills like Vanessa, keeping her from dominating every situation. Similarly, Colt is a terrifying damage machine with speed scaling damage, a guts shield, and the camouflage mechanic. Colt deals massive damage and is very difficult to eliminate in the early stages of battle. Despite their strength, both Colt and Elysia face stiff competition from the overwhelming damage and utility of the S plus tier, which we are about to discuss. Finally, we arrive at the peak of the ranking, Tier S plus, God tier. These are the 5 characters whose presence defines the entire current PvP meta. If you want to reach the highest ranks and dominate the battlefield, owning and investing in this group is mandatory. The S plus group includes Kyle, Trude, Kagura, Platin, and Vanessa. Kyle is the king of damage. The sheer amount of damage he outputs is unquestionable, making him the character every opponent must eliminate first. He is the reason physical teams still maintain overwhelming dominance in the meta. In contrast, Trude is the nightmare of survivability. Her endurance and recovery are nearly unbreakable at high breakthrough levels. Trude's dominance forces the community to develop special strategies and even specific gear just to counter her, solidifying her well-deserved position in the God tier. Platin is the embodiment of destructive balance. He is both an extremely annoying tank and a powerful damage dealer. With buff removal and a comprehensive skill set that has virtually no weaknesses, Platin can fight effectively in every battlefield and every team layout. Kagura is not merely a damage dealer, she is a destructive utility unit. Her support and cleanup potential make her an essential key piece in physical teams, ensuring fights end quickly and decisively. And lastly, Vanessa. She is arguably the most flexible character in the entire tier list. With Sandstorm, wide area defense reduction, and skill reset capabilities, Vanessa is a nightmare for every type of team, from magic to physical. She is the safest and most optimal choice for any player who wants a truly all-purpose hero. And that concludes our full detailed analysis of the updated legendary PvP tier list. In summary, you should prioritize investing in the S plus group to secure dominance, while Tier A characters like Jave and Karma provide reliable flexibility and power for secondary teams. I hope this ranking helps you gain a clearer understanding of your hero investment strategy. Does your tier list differ from this one? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to discuss them with you. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss future meta-analysis videos. Thank you, and see you all in the next one.